but how many know that when you have a purpose and a calling on your life, there's nothing that nobody, and nothing can happen. I am Angela C. Wright.
Over the top, the gotcha.
He said your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why.
You're not gonna get you're gonna have to have mounds of security for me because you're not gonna get me.
If I wasn't depressed and going through what I was going through, I probably would have never started.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Break Phree Podcast. I am your host, Free, and today I have the credit guru with me. That's right, say hi to Curel.
Hello, it's Credit by Curel checking in.
How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good.
Yeah, you look good. You look amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come by and to just share like your knowledge and your energy and everything to basically help people break free from that poverty mindset and just being in poverty, poverty situations. So let's just, girl, cut to it. How did you get into doing credit?
Well, when I was younger, I had an incident with a family member using my credit. And I always, didn't understand credit because it's not something that's taught in school. You learn about credit as you get older and make mistakes. So when it was time for me to use my credit, I went to run it. And when I ran it, I realized that I was getting denied. And I'm like, what am I getting denied for? I never had anything. And I looked at my credit, learned how to look at my report. And when I looked at my report, I saw some stuff on there that didn't belong to me.
Girl, how people used to be putting cable bills and light bills.
It was a light bill at an address I don't even know or never even, heard of. I was just like, what is this? So my mom and I started doing our homework, just looking, trying to figure out what it was. And she was like, oh, this person lived over here, so this got to be,
Yeah.
And once we realized who it was, of course, nobody admits that they did it. So it's like, whatever, you got to move on. So I had to go about fighting it because I was young, trying to get an apartment. And once we started fighting it, I started researching credit. I was like, let me learn about credit a little bit. But truthfully, after I started learning about it, I got with an ex who was really educated on credit, and he was working with a credit attorney. Getting things off, introduced me to this credit attorney, and I just would never forget, the credit attorney was making a killing, and I will be honest with you, I was bringing him people, but I was the middleman.
Yeah, so you was just getting a cut off of, but he was the one that was really profiting off of it.
He was the guy, and I remember asking him, he kind of got, a little messed up, and he wasn't himself, got on drugs, and I was like, you have to teach me the game.
That was good that you even seized that opportunity because some people would have just been like, dude, you need to get yourself together. Look, we got work to do, but you wanted to learn how to fish at that point.
Right, and I have brought him so many people, the people were calling me like, what's up? You ain't working. So, I had to really get thrown out there because he wasn't handling his business. So I was like, well, I got to learn this, So I hit him up, and then I hit his assistant up also, who know about credit. And the assistant was like, I can't give you no information. You got to talk to him.
Oh, well, she was loyal.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I hit the assistant up, and the assistant said no, ask him. So I asked him, and he was like, well, I can teach you, but you're going to have to pay me.
Okay.
I said,
game is to be sold, not to be told.
Say less. Say less. So I'm like, okay. Got me, paid him the money. And I mean, Fee, I'm not making this up to you. I stayed in my room for I can say literally a month straight, just learning the letters, learning the language, learning the law on it.
How old was you when you started?
I'll say I was about 27, 28 to be exact. When I really started taking it serious, learning the law, and I sat in my room. I remember getting one of them long tables, not a desk. I had a long table that you buy from, you have at parties. And
the folding table.
The folding table. I had a folding chair, and the way my room was set up, it had a sitting there. I said, I'm going to make this my little office.
Right.
And at this time, I was in the house, single by myself, my daughter. And I just sat up. I remember just sitting up, learning it. So I called 3 of my cousins. I was like, let me do a test run on you. Let me just try to clean your credit. I knew these cousins was the cousins that They credit messed up. You know, they don't use it.
Yeah.
I mean, they pay cash for everything. I was like, okay. They was like, you could use it. So I sat there, did the letters. They sent me all their stuff. And girl, when I tell you, you got to wait 30 days before you hear anything from the bureaus. And I remember one of my cousins calling me, and he never had credit. He was like, man, I'm about to pull up. I was like, okay. He was like, I got to show you something. He logged into his credit, and I was shocked. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was shocked. I was like, no.
So is that when you knew, like, I'm cold with this?
I'm cold. I got this shit.
Yeah.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
This is it. I'm about to do it. Now, did I believe in it still being something that I'm going to do as in a job? No.
Because this your full-time job.
At that time, it was my full-time job because I was put up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I came from a put-up situation where I really didn't have to work at all. So
But that put-up situation cost you.
it cost me big time.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Touch on that. Yeah.
I actually, we can rewind it back. The guy that introduced me to the credit guy was my ex-husband. And he taught me, you know, credit game a lot. He was like 9 years older than me. So, you know, we was together or whatever, and he was living a life, the lifestyle
that all girls like.
Yeah.
You're not by yourself.
And you know, I tell people that all the time. It's like, I can be your mother, I could be your sister, I could be your friend. You know, all of us fall in love with money.
Yes.
I mean, just being real, you know. Money is the root to all evil.
Yeah, it is.
So,
it is. We have to learn that. It's what I've had to learn after I lost everything and, you know, being in prison and being in that situation and coming home. I didn't even have panties, T-shirts, bras. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Socks. Coming home to that, I had to learn that money is just a tool. But you can't make it your God.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? And at the
Right.
time, money was my God. You understand what I'm saying? Not now, but I can understand how, like, not yourself, but women, period, how we get caught up in certain situations. Yeah, because of the money.
And we don't realize how powerful we are.
Right.
You know, we kind of get, and I'm going to speak for me. I got put up. I was really young when I met him. I was 25 years old. So, you know, living in a 7,000 square feet house, 6-7 cars in your driveway, and able to go to the mall every week and spend money was the dream for everybody. Anybody wanted, you know, before Instagram.
Right.
I was living
that girl before that.
Instagram.
Yeah.
You
Let's
know what
make
I mean?
no mistake.
Be very clear. Instagram wasn't even important. You know, we wasn't taking out, filming everything we do back then. So, I got caught in that lifestyle, and getting caught in that lifestyle caused me to go to prison.
You went to state prison or federal prison?
Federal prison. I was at Alderson Federal Prison in Virginia, West Virginia.
And how was that? You know, I always like to ask people, what was that first day in prison like for you?
It was very depressing for me, being that I've always been with my daughter. I've been a mom since I was 14.
Oh, so you a teenage mom?
Exactly. So
y'all grew up together?
We grew up together. So really, truthfully, it was really bad for me because it was like separation anxiety. It was like, you know, I'm leaving my person. This is who I'm with 24/7. This is who I care for. So I had to like get up and leave her and walk into this prison was just the most heartbreaking.
You got to self-surrender?
Yes.
Girl, they didn't give me that luxury. I didn't have that luxury. They picked me
You know
up.
what?
Do not go. Do not press pause.
I rather probably did that.
You would have?
Yeah.
How long did you stay out fighting your case?
I started fighting in 2014. I didn't go down away till 2018.
4 years.
Yep.
Yeah, so that I
so
can
the
imagine.
Unknown, like just, and I get it, being in there and waiting is different too. But that unknown, just fighting your case and not knowing what they're gonna do with you, and
the time would have counted.
Yeah,
the time would have counted.
I missed a lot, just mentally, because I mean, as you know, fighting a case, you're not yourself.
Right.
You kind of shut down. You're depressed. You getting up every day with no purpose in your mind. You can't see the vision that is the sun at the end of this tunnel at that moment.
Talk about that. Not being able to see the vision.
Can't see it. And everybody around you looking at you like, well, you got to keep going, but you really stuck. You in a box like,
I don't know
what's next.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my daughter get dressed every day, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm ever going to see. I don't know what's next. I mean, they was trying to hit me with so much because
You wouldn't cooperate.
I wouldn't cooperate at all. And that was the first thing they did in my driveway when they ran up. They was like, you can sign this and walk, or we gonna come back for you. Because they didn't get me right away.
You know, them feds, baby, them people would try to, did y'all hear that in her driveway? Them people don't care where they try to get you to snitch at.
No, they don't.
But you stood your ground.
I stood my ground.
Yeah.
And I'm not acting like I'm here to say I'm proud of that, you know, because standing my ground did snatch me away from my daughter. But I had to understand, you know, I signed up for that lifestyle when I got with him. You know, it wasn't like I was blind to what was going on. I may have not known A, B, Z because he didn't have me in those situations, but I knew this is where the money was coming from, you know?
You know, and that's what I say, like people, you know, in my situation, like they be like, oh, you chose the streets over your son. I didn't choose the streets over my son. I knew what I was doing when I was doing it. And what people have to realize is you have to be able to accept the consequences that come behind your behavior, you know? So you know, not saying that you was proud that you stood on it, but you stood on your morals, you know, that was in you. You knew like, okay, Curel, you did know what was going on. So, hey, this is the result of it.
This is what comes with it.
Yeah.
And you signed up for this. You got that, like, you wanted that name at that moment. You wanted to feel like you was the one, like, woo, you know what I mean? So I'm here to keep it real.
Yeah.
You know, at this time when I got engaged, I was 26 years old. I mean, 8.5 carats on my hand.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like big engagement parties and, you know, Versace every day. At that age, you feeling good.
Oh, you popping.
Like, you popping, you this, you that. And I don't fault him.
And a 7,000 square foot house.
Yeah.
Back then. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. That's I can see. Anybody would have fell into
That's why
that.
it irritates me sometimes because when I went away, they was like, oh, Curel did this, or, you know, and I'm like, everybody commit a crime some point in their life. Some people just don't get caught.
Hey, say
when
that
you
again.
claim people on your taxes, that's committing a crime.
Yeah.
And you ain't take care of that kid.
Right.
When you do a pay stub, that's a crime.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
Yeah.
So when they was popping, I'm like, y'all all do stuff. It's just some come to light and some don't.
That's right.
Bottom line. And once I started gaining that, I started feeling better about myself because people will make you feel low when you go, like you just said. They was like, you chose the streets over your son. And I'm like, you know, it's not that. I feel when you thought in your mind you was providing a great life for your son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And truthfully, he just want you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but we don't look at it like that. We was looking at it more so like,
baby, I'm popping. I'm doing
I'm
this.
doing
I'm hopping
me.
on a plane when I want to.
Girl, what?
Baby, I'm flying to New York just to go shopping and make it back to Visions that night to be fresh. You ain't got these.
Yep. Pulling up in 100. When cars wasn't even important, I was pulling up in it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
When people was just like, they didn't even, you know, at one era in life, people was, regular cars was basic. I mean, that was life.
Yeah.
But now, you know, all the kids think they need to be in foreign wheels, but I was doing it before it was popular. And I know I could stand on that. I could pop it.
Yeah. Pop.
I could pop it. It speaks for itself. So it was like, in that moment, it was good, but, you know, when you look back, you like, damn.
Yeah. So that day, like walking into that camp, like I always say, prison will humble you.
Woo.
That twin size bed, that one locker.
Say it again.
I used to say to myself, sometimes, Curel, I'd be like, God, for real?
Yep.
You know, I had a walk-in closet back then. You know what I mean? Huge closet, whatever.
Yep.
And now I'm regulated to a locker where I'm only supposed to have 2 sweatsuits, 5 T-shirts, 5 pair of panties, 5 pair of socks.
Yep. Cooking out of a microwave.
Girl, I'm cold in that microwave.
I never learned. See, I was in and out. So I never learned. My friends that I still talk to this day, they used to do the cooking.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm gonna tell you, Fee, I knew that wasn't my story. So a lot of women was in there like, I'm scared to go home. I'm scared. I'm nervous. But I knew what I was coming home to. Now, I didn't know where would life take me, but I knew that I was coming home with a plan. I'm a planner.
So that's while you was in prison, what did you tell yourself you was going to do when you came home?
Truthfully, I had a 6 months. I got out in August of 2019. So I had a 6-month plan of what I was going to do. Now, credit wasn't the one. Truthfully, always one of those people that wanted to own salon suites, and I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
But I want it done right. I want to own a building because you can't keep screaming you black owned unless you own the building.
Yeah.
It gotta be yours.
Yeah. The girl here, she owns this
it.
building.
When you just said that, it clicked in my head because a lot of women like to say, "Oh, we black owned." Don't get me wrong, I promote it, but you own it when it's your building.
And that's why, like, when she got it, you know, she just was like, "Oh yeah," but I had to stop her in her tracks. Like, no, Ashana, this is a big deal. You are a big deal. Like, this is prime real estate in Midtown.
You get in your name.
Yes, and black owned, and you a woman. And did it without the help of a man.
And that's what I wanted to do. Like, I wanted a building that I wanted to deck out. And that time of me, before I went to prison, that was something he was going to open for me. But I was glad I never got it because the feds would have took it.
Yeah.
You know, so now I know, because I had the whole game plan. It was like we had a building we was getting.
So you wanted suites back then before it became popular.
I have a whole platform that I just never leaked yet. You know, I never put it out there because I was like, I got discouraged. I'm like, oh, these buildings expensive now, you know.
Yeah.
Back then it was a little cheaper. But I had a little book, and everybody will tell you who did time with me. I was like the motivating person. Like, I'm motivating people every day. And I was like, when I get out, it's going to be 6 months. And Fee, I'm telling you, I came home in August of 2019, like you. I had all my clothes and stuff because I only did 18 months.
Stop saying only. I always tell people, like, time is time.
Time, you right.
Away from your kid. I don't care if you leave for 5 months. That's time that you're away from your family, from society, just from living your life, you know? So even though, you know, people always be like, oh, I don't want to say how much time I did around you because that ain't really no time. No, time is time.
Time is time. You right.
Yeah.
And when I did that time, I came home and I was like, I was a little discouraged because, like you said, no money. I mean, literally, I had the money that I came home. I thought I had some money put up, but it was gone.
Yeah.
And I had $700 on my card with our little picture on it.
Yeah.
Remember that card?
Yeah. See, I hustled in prison, so I came home with probably like a little over $13,000.
Okay, see, I had $700 on that card, and that was from like people just taking care.
Yeah.
And I just remember like coming home, I just prayed because one thing about being in there, it got me closer to me. I learned me. So I utilized that time to learn me, not be popular. Everybody wanted to be popular. I just learned me.
Yeah.
And
that's good. To learn you is to really be able to understand who you really are.
There you go.
But not, not what people perceive you as and how we can put on, this front, but to really to be real with yourself and learn who you are, the ins and out of you. Like, I feel like it's a blessing.
It is a blessing. And I tell everybody that I had a goal that I was going to complete in them 6 months. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a little Honda. All my friends and family was like, you getting a Honda? I never drove a Honda. My first foreign car, my mom bought. So I never
you spoiled.
Yeah, I'm an only child to my mom.
Okay.
So, I always had, before him, I've always had. And they was like, you getting a Honda? I'm like, yeah, watch. This $3,500 Honda I'm about to get, but I worked every day to get it. I came home, I checked my email. It was like God, nothing but God. I checked my email, like after being home 2 weeks. And I had like a blast email from one of my clients in California, because like I said, I was doing credit, but I wasn't advertising. Checked my email, I was like, damn, he blasted me with doctors, lawyers, like people who need their credit done. So I'm like, I told my cousin, should I reach out? She was like, hell yeah, you need some money. So I reached out. And no lie, I got my bank statements in my receipts because I like to, just in case I got a show one day, I need it.
Yeah.
That first month being home, it was August. September came, I made like $15,000 that month.
Really?
Listen, 15. And I was kind of nervous because I was still at the halfway house. So my mom was like, well, no, I work with you.
Yeah.
This is my money. Let's do it. I was like, okay. So, girl, every month, it was like the next month came. I made like $16,000. It was like credit. It was like they was telling people, go to her, go to her.
Word of mouth.
I'm a woman of my word. I'm not
Right.
selling you no dreams. The money you pay me not gonna change my life. I'm gonna change yours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, and that's
Baby, you ain't
just that.
changing my life. I'm changing yours.
I'm changing yours. And you have to be clear with people because, and it's not to be arrogant. I'm saying that in a humble way.
Yeah.
People think, oh, I dropped $1,500 with you. Baby, listen, that's my car note. You know what I'm saying? Not
Yeah.
to talk like that, but you
Yeah.
have to be direct with people.
Because people run you in the ground.
Yes.
But you know, too, on the flip side, too, you are a woman of your word. But you know, it's a lot of people who play with people out here about credit, especially this day and age. They'll tell you, oh, I
Yeah.
could get this taken
It's
off.
true.
And they know they can't get it taken off, or they get it taken off and then it pops back on your credit.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's why in the beginning, I let myself be more on the level of word of mouth. I said, just so you can tell her your experience.
Right.
It's better that way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, to be able to attach a story.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
care to broadcast it. But I did, you know, so that those 6 months from August to January, I was like, okay, I need to do something, you know, like let's put myself out there. This is the time they shutting the world down. What can I do to market myself? So the guy I'm with, who's now my husband.
Okay, the guy that y'all went to Mo's on your first date, didn't care.
That's right. Yes, he was my friend, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna teach you the business side of credit.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, okay.
Because at
And
this time you was just doing personal.
I didn't know nothing about business besides the basics. He was like, no, he was like, you got the personality, you talk a lot. He was like, you need to do this. I'm like, He was like, first, let's start marketing you. And he started marketing me. He was like, but you know I'm not about to keep marketing you and you got somebody else's last name. So
Let's make that clear.
So, and at that time, I was still married to my ex. But
Is he home, your ex?
no.
Do you keep in touch?
No. I wish him well, and it's not no ill feelings, but I do believe once I went my own way and I chose me first, he kind of was like, you know, that's it. I would be more than happy to just be cordial because I'm not an ill person, but we haven't spoken years, honestly.
Well, with the holidays coming, maybe you should just send a card. The only reason why I say that is because we know what it's like to be in that situation.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard he played to be, or you know, what he used to be, like
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you know, the height of prison is mail call.
That's
I don't
true.
care.
No, it is.
Yeah, the height of prison.
My name was called, so I
Yeah.
know what it felt like.
Yeah.
It felt so good to know
Man, the
every...
people, let me tell you something. I thank God for my support
Me
system.
too.
Because even all the way up, them 14 years, guess whose name was called every day at mail call? Mine, Angela Wright.
Wow.
Angela Wright, every day to the
Mine
point.
was too.
Yeah, and to the point, like, people used to be like, my friend Reese used to always say, are you sending mail to yourself? Because it just was unreal.
Right,
14
right.
years later, you know, like my people really stayed down with me. So I just say, like, even if y'all don't, you know, if you
Right.
just send a holiday card, like, well, you know, thinking of you at the holidays, or, you know, pray all is well with you, just
Right.
anything just for him,
Well,
I bet you it'd bring a smile to his face and his heart, you know?
Yeah.
You don't got to be his friend, but I mean, ask your husband first, too.
Yeah, of
how
course.
he feel about that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
But, and my husband, he's the type of guy, he's very laid back, and he's not an insecure man, so I know he wouldn't be upset about something like that. But my respect for him,
Yeah.
you know, I would
Yeah.
never like,
Of course
you know
not.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he definitely, he feels very confident at home.
Yeah, and he
So-
should. Y'all have just from the little bit that you do post to let people into y'all life, y'all have like such a cool, like fun.
We was
loving-
friends first,
Yeah.
so it's bigger than just us. Like we were friends. Like he would talk to me about things that he'll see me slacking on. He'll correct me.
That's what's up.
If I'm pronouncing this wrong, he like, look, no, you ain't about to look stupid in this room.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you said this wrong. Like,
That's what's up.
you
Yeah,
know,
like building you up,
building me
building
up.
you up.
He was more into my business than me.
So
Truthfully.
he taught you that after you, so you end up getting a divorce.
Yes.
Yeah.
I ended up getting divorced. And he was coming out of a situation as well. So we both had that story to talk about, like with our ex and, you know, life experiences. And I love that we had that to connect with. It was just, you know, he knows my background. I know his background. And it just we became one. But he really pushed me to push Credit by Curel.
That's what's up.
Ebook, down to all my ebooks. And I'm not trying to give him credit. I'm just saying this because...
No. You should, though.
I really wasn't going to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't going to push Credit like I was pushing it now. It was more of him saying, you got to believe in yourself.
Right.
So...
And it's nothing, when the girls was here with Dina was here with the boutique, I was saying, it's nothing like having a partner who want to see you win.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
To have your dude to like not only invest in you, finance, but to invest emotionally and supportively, like that's huge.
Yeah.
It does something for our spirit. It does something for our self-esteem.
We need that.
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn.
So men, we need y'all.
We need y'all. Seriously. We do though.
Yeah.
And they don't realize it because we're always their support system. But we need that same support. So he was pushing me like, you got to push this business.
Yeah.
He was like, you're a beautiful woman. You're going to attract people off of who you are.
Yep,
your
looks,
energy,
yeah.
your looks, your demeanor, you're confident. Then he's like, you have a story that comes behind that.
It does.
And
it does. Being overcoming. Not just prison, but divorce, being a teenage mom.
Yes.
Those are all things that society says you can't get past.
That's true.
And look at you.
You're right.
Back living that life, baby, like as if that money was coming through in the night. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
You're right. And that's why now my goal is to just try to build people up with their credit because we're not taught credit. You know
why
what I mean?
is credit so important?
Because without credit, you ain't nothing. If the banks don't respect you, then nobody respects you.
Right.
People feel like, oh, I got money under the bed. That ain't it. Cash App as your bank account.
Yeah.
No, you have to have credit. Credit, when you walk into a dealership, they don't care what money you got. You know that.
Yeah.
If you got A1 credit, they respect that person more than the other person with the cash.
Yeah, because coming home, I had a 776 out of prison.
See?
Because, what I did, being down, that's another thing that people don't realize. People who are in prison are more prone, especially lengthy sentences, to have their credit stolen.
Yes, indeed. That's so true.
I check my credit all the time. I did not play about my credit. Girl, one time, I got my report. Somebody had them put some cable in my name. I called home, I asked my mom, I said, did you put cable in my name? She's like, no. I said, ask your kids. Because I'm telling you right now, they being prosecuted to the fullest. She was like, for a cable bill. I said, I don't care. I need my credit.
That's right.
So I was able, but I didn't have the history when I came home.
Yeah.
I had the 776, but I still needed my dad when I got my truck, because they like, yeah, you got the credit, but you don't have the history.
It's not strong enough, and you have to build credit. And that's what I taught my baby. Before I left, what I did was add her to like maybe 4 credit cards that I had.
Yeah.
So when I walked out of there, and I'm just keeping it, I'm being transparent as possible. We was messed up. I was financially messed up to the point where I couldn't even send her to like out my own pockets with her dorm and her stuff in her apartment. I literally had to humble myself and text people like, hey, I need help. I'm about to send her to college. I just got out. She's leaving in 2 weeks. Can y'all send? And I mean, all my friends, keeping it real, been my friends since my one best friend been my friend since I was 6.
That's what's up.
And that's Siobhan. And then I got, Marshetta. Then I got Angela, Tasha. These people, they grew with me.
Yeah.
So all my people held me down while I was gone. I didn't even have to think about her.
That's
literally
what's up.
Sent my baby off to prom, graduation on point.
Yeah.
But when I knew one thing I said, I can't come home and use my name. I'm on probation and stuff, halfway house. I said, I got to figure this out. I forgot I had built my daughter up.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? We're not going to stress. You got A1 credit. I ran that credit. I said, oh, shit. I said, let me get you 2 cards. This is how you're going to get your groceries and stuff. And we're going to get a loan, and we'll pay that back. So that way we won't be having to ramble and ask for people for stuff. Like, we're going to make this work.
You was able to do it. I tell people, a lot of people don't know that sometimes credit is better than money.
Man, come on.
Yeah. So tell me, what's next for Credit by Curel?
So right now, I'm more so like trying to educate people on doing different classes. I'm going to start back doing the classes because I had slowed down with COVID. But from there, I want to build Credit by Curel up and pretty much have it where you're going to learn about it by just clicking on my site, and I won't be I'm not going to be hands-on. I'm trying to move on to doing bigger things, more investments. Like I was telling you before, I want to do the salon suites.
Because it seemed like talking to you today, you always ahead of the curve.
I try to be.
No, really. You know, just some of the things that you said in your conversation, just about your lifestyle, everything. Like, God makes a way where you are ahead of the curve, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Now, like I was telling you before, after going through that situation, I take time for me. And when I say I take time for me, I mean, I'm not a partier at all, as it is. But I really sit down and figure out my life. I'm that type of person. If I feel like if it's not going right, I take a month off and I just sit down and I focus. So I have a lot of different avenues I want to go down. I just have to visualize it and put it on paper.
Right. That's so important.
It is.
It's so important. A lot of people don't believe in vision boards, but the Bible speaks of it. Habakkuk 2 says, write the vision and make it plain, so he that see it may run with it. That's a vision board.
That's a vision board. Yeah. And we might need to host a vision board party for the new year. It's coming.
That's my birthday, too. I've been trying to tell my manager that I wanted to have, to celebrate my birthday, that I wanted a vision board party and to release the podcast, but I don't know if he's going to do it or not.
We're going to have to sit him down and tell him that's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what now he wanted to chime in. What did you say, sir? Oh, he's quiet, y'all. He's quiet now.
No, it's a great idea. Like you said, you have to visualize it. And sometimes we get a little cloudy because we have so much going on around us. You can't think about what you want to do in that moment.
Right.
So sometimes you have to take the time out, put it on paper, write it down, just do whatever it takes to take that time for yourself. Like me and you, we both been away, so we know what it feel like. And during that time, you was visualizing a lot of things.
My whole entire life.
Exactly.
Everything.
You saw it.
Yeah, I saw it when nobody else. And I've said this style. I say it all the time. People thought I was crazy, Curel. They thought I was crazy. I spoke my way out that prison. My name is Free because I changed it in prison to Free because I was speaking my freedom.
Wow.
And so the other day I put up a post, and in the post I was saying, when you have an idea or you have a vision, don't worry about where the resources are going to come from.
Right.
Because even with the podcast, I did not have the money. These mics and stuff, they cost.
That's right.
Them cameras, they cost. But I just
get
believe
that business
God.
credit right.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello, God.
That's right.
Yeah, but I said, when you just start, God will send the people. He will send the resources. You get what I'm saying? And it'll come together. But it starts with writing it down and just being mindful of what you want to do.
And everybody don't need to know your vision. Sometimes it takes time to build it. And you can't tell people as you go along that journey. You just have to stay quiet and just do it. And one thing about me, that's what I used to do. I used to say, okay, this is my plan. I'm going to do this. And my mom is like my biggest supporter.
Right.
She believes in me. And she's like, damn, you nothing like I was. Most of our people are programmed to work, which is nothing wrong with working because everybody is not an entrepreneur.
Right.
And it's not meant for everybody. But see, when I was younger, I knew I wasn't working for nobody. Like, I was always the type that wanted the book sense, street sense, and common sense.
That's a blessing. And you know what I call that? Wisdom.
Wisdom. And I come from that. So it was like I knew I was going to do something for myself, but I just didn't know in that time. But my mom was like, I just always saw you being this businesswoman and you her. She was like, even going away, that's who you are.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do believe that Credit by Curel has served its purpose. I've helped a lot of people. I've changed a lot of lives. Yeah. It's just now time to move on to bigger things, and just level up from there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Not trying. You would take trying out of it.
That's
and
right.
say, that's what I'm going to do.
That's what I am doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, that's where I'm at today with Credit by Curel.
You're definitely a testament, though. You're just another testament of a strong Black woman who, after her worst decision, still was able to come home and look at you and build something and still have a lifestyle, still have that dignity, still be able to hold your head. And in the process, you're helping other people to be free.
That's right.
It gets no better than that. You're fulfilling
your purpose.
And
I've helped a lot of women around me, because a lot of them don't see their purpose.
Right.
And sometimes you need a motivating person around you to help you see your purpose.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like,
and you need those people to when you kind of get the slacking.
Yep.
And falling. You know, like my dad is my motivator. My father is my voter. My mom, she is too, but my dad is to one. My mama go along with whatever I got going. She's my rider. She's going along with it. But my dad, when I'm slacking, he say, hold on now. Wait a minute. You know, so we do need that in our life.
Because you are who you around. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, good. That's a good one.
If you in that seat with that person and they live in a certain lifestyle, you're gonna pick up those behaviors.
Yeah.
So you gotta kind of isolate yourself and get around people who can motivate you. Because you are who you're around. You are who you date. I mean, bottom line.
You are who you around.
Right?
You are who you date. I never looked at it that way.
You are though.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
They become you. You become them.
Right.
So if this person not doing right, you're not gonna do right. Eventually.
That's true. Yeah, eventually.
Because I love you so much, I'm gonna stick by your side. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna ride with you. Right?
Yeah. You ain't telling no lies.
For real.
Yeah, you ain't doing nothing.
You could be my best friend and I know you doing something wrong. I'm gonna tell you, but I'm not gonna tell. I'm gonna still ride with it.
Right.
So, you know, you gotta kind of just branch out and be around different type of people.
That's true. So before we go, tell everybody where they can find you.
They can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Credit by Curel. It's only one. Not too many people know this
It's only one.
And before I wrap this up, the money you pay me not gonna change my life. I'm gonna change yours, and I'm saying that in a humble way.
You don't gotta, baby. Let me tell you something. Stop adding that. I'm saying that in a humble way.
Some people
it doesn't matter how they taking it. That's your tagline. You're not changing my life. I'm changing yours.
I'm changing yours.
Stand
baby.
on it. Stand on it.
Yours.
You don't gotta say I'm saying that in a humble way. It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
because my life is spoken for.
Yeah.
It's time for you to get yours.
That's right. I'm trying to help your life speak for you.
That's it.
Now you have to tell me before we leave one thing that you feel like you're in bondage to and you need to break free from.
Negative people. Negative people.
Like what? Do you feel like you by what they say or just
yes, people who's stuck, people who's content and complacent, you know, and when you're spending a lot of time with them type of people, it rubs off on you.
That's right.
And I can't be this person motivating people if I'm still stuck with people around me. I'm telling you not to be around people and I'm still around them.
That's right. We have to eat what we preach.
Right.
Yeah. Yep. Thank you so much for coming by today.
Thank you for having
I hope you
me.
come back again, maybe Women's Month or something like that, you know, or maybe we do something together. We definitely going to look into doing the brunch or the vision board party together. But I thank you again, y'all. Make sure you go follow Credit by Curel. That's Credit by Curel on all platforms. And remember, it's always delusion until they see it happen. I'll see y'all next time.
been ready too. And I was like, okay, go ahead with yours first. And he was like, today is your last day of chemo. He said, your numbers has shrunk. He said, I don't know how, why. I said, he knew. I had some news for you. This was it.
Yeah.
I couldn't take no more of this. He said, well, it's definitely it for us, the chemo right now. So we did that round. Let's get to this bell. We did the last round of chemo. So you go ring the bell. This bell is a joke. Because after the bell, you thinking you're done. Well, people thinking you're done.
Yeah, because we all thought you was done when you rung the bell.
Yeah, and me as the patient, I know I'm not done because you already gave me a treatment plan telling me I got to have reconstructive surgery, which was the next process. So ringing the bell was my confusion because everybody said, you're done. Oh, girl, you beat cancer. Girl, I'm still fighting. Real fight.